Thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Nation newspaper. The major story here says, Lukarawas terrorists will be flushed out soon, says Ribadu. No room for them here. Troops intensify onslaught against invading terrorists. And then another story here. $30 billion investment attracted in 17 months. Tinubu reforms working. Customs crosses 5.7 trillion revenue target. Another story here. Under 2024, how Ayedatiwa Ajayi stand. At the top corner there, FCCPC restates warning to disclose over meter replacement. And Wabote explains a $35 million controversial refinery deal. Makinde presents 678 billion naira 2025 appropriation bill. Some stories on the front page of the Nation newspaper. We move now to the Leadership newspaper. The major story again, we will flush out Lukarawas, NSA declares, says government will put critics to shame. Boko Haram now on the run. Service chiefs working to implement measures, minister is saying. And the picture story there is that of a fuel-laden tanker which exploded at Jigawa Kano border community near the village of Gamoji. And the story here says, Ayedatiwa's election vital for Ondo's future. Shettima, Vice President Kashim Shettima is quoted as saying that we're working to fulfill all agreements with Labour. Federal government is quoted as saying that. Now at the top corner, Nigeria needs $10 billion investment for 24-hour electricity. Where will we find that money from? A big question. Now, 6 million Nigerians at risk or as diabetes care cost soars. Some stories on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. Now to the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. With reforms, Nigeria's FDI has gone beyond $30 billion. The president is quoted as saying that customs hit 5.07 trillion naira 2024 revenue target. Federal government debt stock rises to 66.957 trillion naira H1 2024. Now, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria says 16 manufacturers lost 792 billion naira in 1 year. That's quite worrisome. Now, another story. Saudi meeting, federal government eyes $5 billion trade facility deal. At the top corner there, how bandits exploit peace deals with Kaduna farming communities. Reform in Nigeria's $700 billion mining sector drawing global attention. Interesting. All right, some stories on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. To this Nigeria newspaper now, the major story here, Tinubu enhancing judicial officers' welfare, not pocketing them. Wike, as the minister of the FCT, is quoted as saying that. Says new houses for judges in FCT in 2024 budget. Set to release 50 vehicles to combat insecurity, scavenging. Now blasts Bauchi Governor Bala Muhammad over PDP crisis. Alleged 27 billion naira fraud. Court reserves ruling in ex-Taraba governor's suit challenging jurisdiction. We're working to fulfill all agreements with Labour, federal government. Ondo Guba, religious leaders call for peaceful election devoid of vote buying. Will be transparent. Resident Electoral Commissioner assures electorate stakeholders. And midnight raid, Lagos arrests 94 rail track squatters. Some stories on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper. To the First News newspaper now. I am just the implementer. Wike defends Judges' Quarters project as Tinubu's vision for judicial independence. Another story here, Nigeria needs $10 billion PPP investment as the private-public partnership investment in power sector minister. At the downstream, federal government suspends 13 students of FGC Enugu over bullying. At the top corner there, Nigeria needs federal constitution, not 1999 version. Anyoko is quoted as saying that. Two charged with impersonating EFCC chairman attempting $1 million extortion. Some stories on the front page of the First News newspaper. And to the front page of the Hope newspaper, 3 days to Ondo Guba poll. I'll sustain Akeredolu's legacy, Ayedatiwa vows in final rally as APC hands party governorship flag to him. Vice President Shatima, Representative President Tinubu leads governors, ministers, others to grand finale. At the downstrip here, election Ondo declares Friday public holiday. Churches, NGOs, government on warpath with a push for legalization of abortion. And some stories on the front page of the Hope newspaper. Nigerian Tribune now. Ondo APC rally, Tinubu evokes adjacent Aketi's memories in push for votes. Suspected political thugs strike in Ondo, injustice in Idori. Police vow zero tolerance for acts against peace. How National Assembly members encourage corruption in public sector. Jega is quoted as saying that vandals invade Obajana transmission substation, destroy power transformer radiator. It must be said that these people are sabotaging government effort as it is, and government has to do something as quickly as possible. Now to the Guardian newspaper. World Diabetes Day. Epidemic worsens as cost of drugs hits 100,000 naira per patient monthly. And the picture, well, some infograph there, cost of care between 500,000 naira and 800,000 naira per patient, with average 100,000 naira spent on drugs a month. And ICPC laments risks in probing high-profile cases. Some stories on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Lamide.
And here with me is Nigeria News Direct. How financial inclusion will help Nigeria achieve $1 trillion economic goal. Cardoso is quoted as saying, says the CBN unveils initiatives to boost inclusion among SMEs. FCCPC threatens to penalize discos for flouting directive to hold obsolete meters replacement. Another story has says customs surpass revenue targets as Tinubu showers praises on agency. On Ondo Guber poll, VP Shatima, governors, ministers, senators, others star Makura for Governor Ayedatiwa. Lasepa parades 94 suspected criminals on Agege rail corridor. Dangote inked 10-year gas supply deal with the NNPC. Some stories on the front page of Nigerian News Direct. To the Salient Times, the CBN says Nigeria spent $3.5 billion to service foreign debt in 9 months. On Ogun local government polls, Ogundele sued a deliberate move by the APC to silence the PDP. Marketers announced fuel price slash that's on the Dangote refinery. Nigeria's crude oil production rose to 1.33 million barrels per day in October. Outside the country, Trump returns to the White House meets President Biden. Some stories on the front page of the Salient Times. To the Platform Times, North Central Southwest lead as 2,404 crashes claim 1,305 lives in 3 months. The National Bureau of Statistics is quoted as saying Nigeria's foreign debt servicing hits 5 trillion naira in 9 months. Another story here says immigration is raising alarm over high number of irregular migration in Nigeria. In Ogun State, the factional People's Democratic Party expresses confidence in judiciary. Still on Still in Ogun State on the local government election, judge assigned with case against our party was APC card carrying member. PDP raises alarm. Build the national grid for Nigeria, leave economic reform. Sheikh Husani to Saudi Arabia. Some stories on the front page of the Platform Times to Daily Independent. Nigeria needs $10 billion investment for 24-hour electricity. Federal government is quoted as saying the TCN laments attack on Obajana transmission substation. FCCPC wants discourse over floating directive on meter replacement. The NNPC Limited set to supply 100 MMSCF gas to Dangote refinery. In Abuja, Wike clarifies Abuja judge's housing project, says it is presidential policy. Some stories on the front page of Daily Independent. To the New Telegraph on the 2024 Hajj probe, Nakon stings, says Raps. Yes, I agree, Commission Chair admits. As lawmakers query discrepancies in subsidies to pilgrims. With the 1999 Constitution, even Angel Gabriel cannot solve Nigeria's divisiveness. Ayoko is quoted as saying, an Ondo election appeal court sacks Labour Party candidate Olushola Ibisheni 3 days to the poll. 19 of 38 directors failed PREMSEC's qualifying exam. That's according to the head of service. France, USA to join Nigeria examine crash helicopter wreckage, Kiamo says. Some stories on the front page of the New Telegraph to Business Day. Nigeria ordeals no match for smaller African countries. Nigeria needs fewer agencies at borders to facilitate trade. Condre Wheeler is quoted as saying. Another story here says the federal government caps telecom tariff plans to follow India's lead. Rising cement prices drag home ownership dreams. That's a feature story there. The major stories on the front page of the Business Day. And finally, in Sporting Live, Eagles gun for 3 points to assure 2025 African finals tickets. Omar out of Benin clash. South Africa FA President Jordan arrested. Simon eyes 10th goal in 75th Eagles game. The Confederation of African Football appoints a side to officiate Eagles Benin clash. Some stories on the front pages of the newspaper this morning, Veronica.
Right. And I believe that our viewers have been updated